5 relationship mistakes made by the Gemini zodiac sign. Gemini is the sign of the twins, and as such, sometimes they can be like dealing with 2 different people. Always active and busy, Gemini is very hard to pin down. Many Geminis are too busy to even consider being in a relationship, and those that do have many difficulties to overcome. Here are the top 5 mistakes that Gemini makes in relationships. Number 1. Craving novelty. Gemini bounces from interest to interest at the drop of a hat. Once they become bored, they move on to something else. They constantly crave new stimuli to indulge their curious minds. Consistency is not a word in Gemini's vocabulary. Unlike Aquarius, Gemini's inconsistencies are also inconsistent. No one outside of Gemini's mind will ever know how they'll react. The desire for constant novelty is simultaneously Gemini's best and worst quality, especially in relationships. Relationships require consistency and groundedness, and meeting those requirements can be next to impossible for the flighty Gemini. In a relationship, the desire for novelty can even lead Gemini to seek out other partners, especially if the relationship is causing them stress. Gemini's biggest mistake in relationships is refusing to settle down even a little bit to create a healthy and functional bond with their partner. Number 2. Logic over emotions. A quality that's typical of all air signs, Gemini tends to distance themselves from their emotions. The result in a relationship is always the same: cold bitterness and an insufficient bond. How Gemini disconnects is slightly different from Libra and Aquarius. Libra focuses on their partner's needs over themselves. Aquarius focuses on the needs for broader humanity. Gemini focuses on their own interests and needs. Emotional distance prefers logical ways of explaining feelings and experiences. Gemini's sense of self-importance also makes their logic quite sharp, and they often use their sharpness against anyone that makes them uncomfortable. They can be particularly cruel and unforgiving in their relationships, and often diminish their partner's value by being this way. Number 3. It's all about me. As mentioned before, Geminis can be the most selfish of the air signs. They only follow their interests. Everything they do is about themselves and what they can learn. These are not good traits to have in a relationship. Selfishness not only prevents a relationship from growing, but it can also cause it to wither away. Not one to put their relationship first, Gemini's partner can seem more like an accessory than anything else. This is not a good way to run a relationship, especially if the partner wants something serious. It's typically only later in life that Gemini realizes they need to have a partner to truly rely on. So, it would do them well to be less selfish sooner than later. Number 4. Manipulative speech. As the communicators of the zodiac, Geminis are often endowed with a gift for speech and charisma. They learn very quickly that the words they use and the way that they communicate have a lot of power. That power is easily and usually abused because Gemini seeks to gratify their interests. Geminis can twist words around to change their meaning. It's especially difficult to argue with them because of their ability to change the framing of what's being said. The use of manipulating speech is a terrible trait in a relationship. Trying to always be right will kill a relationship. Number 5. 2 people living inside one mind. Geminis are dualistic. They're the sign of the twins, and their mind functions as if they were 2 different people. They're good at multitasking and can juggle many different topics at once. The downside to this part of their nature is that they change daily. If you think having a relationship with only one person is hard enough, try having a relationship with 2 people sharing the same body. It's not the dualistic nature itself that's a mistake, but rather Gemini's acquiescence to the devil and angel on their shoulders. This trait is what makes them inconsistent. The mistake Gemini makes is not taking responsibility for their frequent changes in attitude. A good partner will point out when Gemini is acting strangely, and a Gemini who has some self-awareness will recognize this. But that level of self-awareness is often difficult for them to cultivate. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe for all the updates.